The couple is kissing passionately. Then a group of thugs standing next to him laughed at him. Then film again. They didn't just take one photo. They took many photos. Danny discovered Raw and immediately spoke up to stop him. Said that it was a private moment for him and his wife. You should request them to be deleted immediately. Who would have thought that the thugs would flatly refuse? Hey man, please don't be like that. Danny was about to come closer and talk about things, but as soon as he stepped forward, the thug immediately posted the video to social networks. Delete it now. Are you planning on hitting me? His wife advised him not to accept them, but Danny, still glaring at the thug who refused to leave. Are you a man? Are you a man? Hear that. His wife really hopes her husband will toughen up a bit, but soon that hope became distant. Despite being humiliated but in the end, Danny still endured it. When he got home, he continuously poured cold water on it. I want to use this way to forget what just happened. But when lying in bed, the image of being humiliated kept playing in my head. He cannot dispel it. The next day, his wife Jessie vented her frustration. The sandbag probably still hasn't expressed his anger, so she threw another punch at Nikki's face. Club owner. Unexpectedly, Nikki was not only angry, but also becomes someone who listens to curses. Jessie immediately confessed all the unpleasant things in her heart. She said that Danny is a family man, loves her and her 3 children very much. She felt like she was stuck in the mud again. Except every Thursday evening then the other days are not interesting. Because Danny is not only not gay, but also a guy howling in the house. However, she did not know it before getting married. Min's husband used to be a famous gangster. For the past 18 years, he has always been at peace. Sell used cars to feed the whole family. Both father and mother earn money while taking care of housework. Yesterday, he planned to spend time with his wife to celebrate 18 years of marriage. Who would have thought that the mood would be ruined by a group of thugs? But you don't know that. Fate also quietly turned around at this time. The next day, he took his youngest son to the supermarket to buy diapers. Just opened the refrigerator door. Then a sick man rushed in. He immediately realized something. Right after that, he started fucking with me. Dude, sorry. No way. He intended to negotiate with the sick man. Let him drop the baby first. But the other party didn't speak any sense. Immediately launched an attack. But even so, he remained undeterred. This scene made the neighbor's aunt freeze. At this time, the assassin rushed forward and knocked him away. He stood up angrily. Don't throw cans of canned food in a row. I think the distance is enough. He threw a kick and then added a spinning kick. The neighbor's aunt witnessed that scene. Was completely dumbfounded. But it's not over yet. I told you to let me put her down. The assassin fainted on the spot. Danny calmly picked up the diaper from the ground and calmly walked out of the supermarket before the bewildered eyes of the cashier. Then he drove home at a speed of 200 miles. When he got off the bus, the neighbors were also stunned on the spot. But he doesn't care about that. Rushed into the house, used a knife to scrape a small piece of metal on the white wall of the stairs. After pressing the secret button, then the whiteboard on the stairs popped out. He took it from inside, a large black bag that had been sealed for 18 years. Inside there are several guns, 6, and many passports of other countries. But when I opened my passport, then he discovered that they had expired. There is no other way. He had to take 2 more piles of US dollars from the secret compartment. Then immediately called Cho Nick, a close friend who hasn't been in touch for many years. Nick was surprised to hear his voice. I didn't expect that he was still alive, but Danny didn't have time to explain. He needs Nick to help him and his family rebuild their identities. Oh, dare you contact me? See if Fry is hunting you all over the world. Yeah, it seems like he found Dao and didn't know Dao. Guess it's through social media, you idiot. After quickly packing up my belongings, then he brought his THRE children to Jessie was a bit surprised to hear her husband say we'll take the whole family on a trip to Las Vegas. Danny explains that, I want to take the whole family to visit the Eiffel Tower and see your Dell's show. We will drive later. Road trips is the best way to bond with family. At this time, Danny suddenly saw a Cadillac Escalade. Black appears downstairs. He realized that if Ray didn't leave immediately, so he quickly tricked his wife into getting into the car. Just reached the exit to the parking lot. He discovered Areha, the assassins on the e-tails, is staring at me. He thought he should take a shortcut to save time. At that moment, a bus arrived. Hurry up and chase it. Wait for the assassins to leave. Then Danny quickly drove in another direction. I thought I could cut them in half. Unexpectedly, right after that, the black car chased Theo. The black car suddenly accelerated close to the side of his car. Danny quickly drove, turned the car onto a small road. Oh my God, where are you taking us? No, honey, this is a shortcut. I've never passed this road before. Just finished talking. He immediately discovered that the black car was still following Theo. He immediately felt something was wrong. Then he took the whole family to his workplace. He used the remote control to open the gate and drove inside. The black car was about to follow Theo, but was stopped by the gate. Looks like there's a rest stop on the right. The driver heard that and immediately drove towards the rest stop. Danny quickly drove into his repair shop. Company in front of everyone's bewildered eyes. He used the excuse to check the car, and then Cho lifted the car. Soon after, he discovered a navigation device, real-time monitoring under the vehicle. He quickly took it off and quickly found one point. Karma likes to show off. No, this guy plans to drive the new sports car he bought. Go for a walk. He immediately attached a tracking device to his car. Car boyfriend is like girlfriend. Just drive it onto the highway and run at full speed. I'll worry about cold punishment. The Here guy immediately pressed gay A and rushed to find him. Then he's moving west. Final, Danny also escaped the pursuit of the assassins. His whole family drove straight to Las Vegas. No San Antonio. But just walked a bit when Danny realized there was a problem. What are you doing? I'm posting about our trip. Posting on Twitter and TikTok. During his time, he traveled by car. It's all direct interaction. Dad, stop talking, please. I don't want to hear you preach now. If you don't even know how to send a text message, don't comment. I'm serious. Should you turn off your phone this vacation? Danny then threw all 4 people's phones into the river. 3 people left, completely stunned by this incomprehensible action. As Danny explains that, doing so will help them get closer to each other. Although not satisfied with this explanation, but they still happily rap. Moreover, they sing very evenly and in sync. At the same time, McCaffrey that Nick mentioned showed up at Danny's house. Saw their family photo of 5. McAfee old man was angry. Immediately order the hacker. Your command must find Reyes' whereabouts at all costs. Hacker said he followed all the accounts. Danny's family's social network, but got nothing. It was obvious that they had turned off their phones. Look, don't go looking for that audio. No problem, boss. While not letting his family know his secret, it's hard for him to change his car. I think they don't know, for they were still with him. Time until evening. Danny's whole family was fast asleep. He was the only one left awake, yawning. But right after that, he suddenly woke up because he knew that he had been found by McCaffrey's men. Several assassins riding motorbikes quickly chased Theo. Unexpectedly, Danny saw them without panicking. He connects music in the car with headphones, then pulled out the gun 6. Install additional silencer. As soon as he turned up the headphone volume, the assassins also caught up. He took the opportunity to raise his hand and fire 2 shots. The assassin's arm was shot off. Immediately set up a grave on the spot. The youngest son saw that and immediately clapped his hands and cheered. At this moment, an assassin was approaching him. Prepare to shoot. Like Danny went first and pulled him off the bike. During the struggle, the assassin dropped the gun. Seeing that, the son immediately gave the bottle of milk to his father. Danny took the milk bottle, stuff it into the assassin's helmet, and squeeze it hard. Soon the assassin finally caught up. Danny immediately turned the car into him. The assassin lost his balance and fell. What just happened? Oh baby, it's just a pothole. Then they drove into a small town. Find a motel to spend the night. The next day, they continued on their way. Their next journey is quite smooth. Did not encounter any difficulties, nor was he chased by assassins. At this time, they were very close to Las Vegas. It was late afternoon on Thursday, so the family of 5 looked for a motel to stay. Even though it's close to Las Vegas, they also cannot be ignored, a habit that has been maintained for 18 years now. The next scene is quite violent, so I decided to endure it myself. Be loved brightly. So Jessie had a happy smile on her face. Don't know when she learns her husband's true past. Can you still laugh? After a day of traveling, the family of 5 finally arrived in Las Vegas. Jessie was extremely excited because of so many years. She always dreamed of going to Las Vegas with her husband once. Now she got her wish. Make your wife happier. So Danny is special. Book a super luxurious presidential suite at Arian Resort Hotel and Casino. Jessie was so happy that she was crazy because this is the hotel room furthest from that she had ever seen in her life, and nothing compares. However, just when she thought that they can have fun here for a while, then her husband went downstairs to see his best friend Nick. After a few polite greetings, Nick gave me an envelope. Inside, not just the passports of 5 family members, but also plane tickets, arriving in Venue tomorrow, bought into their new identity. Danny also doesn't let Nick have to work for free. Immediately gave him a black bag containing 500,000 United States dollars. Returning to his room, he hid a knife in his calf, then put the 6 gun in his belt to ensure safety and prevent accidents. At this time, his wife also appeared at the door in a charming red dress to such a luxurious place. Of course, she has to dress up a bit for Cho Ra. Before exiting the door, Danny instructed carefully, the children must take care of the youngest brother. Absolutely do not leave the room. But unexpectedly, they just walked out the door. 3 children ignored their father's instructions. Soon they went out to have fun. Meanwhile, Dad, their mother, is enjoying dinner. Romantic candlelight at the restaurant. But before starting the meal, then Danny decided to confess. Everything with my wife doesn't need to be spent. I want to be alone with my wife. Actually, I don't know how to speak French. They only taught us a few sentences that were enough to appear classy. I will come back later. Hearing that, Jessie was a bit confused and surprised. Do you even know how to speak French? How well do you speak? I don't know. I haven't said it for a long time. He has traveled to many places around the world. Even so, it's still very difficult for me to tell you the truth. I'm afraid you'll be sad. I don't know. Do you still love me? After knowing his true identity, I'm so sorry for dragging you into this, but I swear I will never let anyone harm you. And do your children think Jessie understands? Nope, it sounds so seductive. Speaking in French sounds more pleasant, right? French is inherently a melodic language. Listen, Jessie, no longer interested in candlelight dinners. She quickly suggested going back to her room with her husband to exercise, moves they have never tried before. That's it. After finishing their meal, they immediately returned to their room. I saw the children were fast asleep. Jessie hurried into the room, turned on some romantic music and posed in a waiting pose. But just when she thought that, my husband received the signal and will return to the room to explore new knowledge with her. Danger suddenly comes. Jessie was a bit confused. Tet is not a holiday. Why are you shooting a Cho right after taking down 2 assassins one by one? Neat way. Danny immediately sat down, then start looking for other enemies. Unexpectedly, an assassin controlled his wife at this time. Step out, here he is. You almost calmed down. You caught me. You won. Then to his wife's surprise, then he put the gun on the ground. Take advantage when the assassin isn't paying attention. He pulled out a knife and released her. Now she knows. The assassin says he will kill Danny first, then his wife. In the end, he will leave his accomplices in the hacker game arena. Why did Nguyen kill his children? Can you hear that? But soon the assassin was defeated on the spot. You can explain. But Jessie was already scared by Cho. How can I give you a chance to explain? She turned back to see the dead assassin. I'm vomiting. I'm sorry. This is normal. Anyone who sees this scene for the first time will vomit. After speaking, he ran to the assassin, took his gun and phone. At this time, Jessie came to the children's room. Just discovered that Rayo's 3 children were not in the room at all. That's just their pretend game. Remember what the assassin just said about 2 wives. Husband rushed to the whitening hacker game arena. On the go, Danny wanted to explain to his wife, but she didn't want to listen. Turned and scolded him and slapped him. Now she just wants to find her 3 children again. Soon they arrived at the game arena. At this time, they discovered Ra's audience cheering his son's name. It turns out the boy is a big fan of video games. Just now, he single-handedly destroyed an entire team of strong opponents. That's why there was such a passionate celebration. But when the 3 kids were planning to show off to their dad, their father didn't bother to pay attention. Seeing 3 children all safe and sound, Danny quickly took them out of the arena. He said that they had to leave here immediately, because I know his former colleagues want to kill them. What employees of Brands Ottawa? I'm not kidding, just ask Mark first. When I met your mother, I found out I was a secret assassin. Dad escaped that life, but we were found. Son Kelly, thinking that my father is the most cowardly father in the world, so don't believe what he said. But as soon as he finished speaking, an assassin chased Theo. Danny hurriedly took his children into the lobby. Casino, he pulled out his gun, loaded it, then told his wife that he would attract fire. And you take the children out of here. He quickly opened the door. The Cadillac shifted into neutral gear and then pushed hard. The car roared by. Female assassins are also stupid. Just keep shooting at the windshield. Seeing that the opportunity had come, Danny immediately opened fire. 2 shots rang out. The female assassin collapsed to the ground. Danny moved to take back her gun, then quickly turned around and ran away to reunite with his family. But that female assassin wearing a bulletproof vest was not dead. She doesn't realize that Rayo is actually Danny gave her a chance to survive, but she wants to die. In the end, Danny had to please her. The boy witnessed that scene and immediately vomited. Jessie quickly used Danny's words to comfort her child. Then the whole family found a motel to rest. Danny told everyone about the experiences of the first half of my life. Turns out his real name is Shin. His mother died when he was only 4 years old. And his father has violent tendencies. As soon as he turned 18 years old, he immediately joined the army. Due to a genetic mutation, he performed very well. Sack used to join the Green Beret Force and also Delta Task Force. Then an old man named McCaffrey came to him and recruited him for a special project. What special project? We eliminate the evil people who terrorize the lords, hostage takers around the world, those the government cannot legally deal with. Eliminate means how many people? 26 people. He killed 26. But in reality, the number is much more than that. Including this trip, he killed 43 people. 43 of them are all bad guys. You're such a hypocrite. They're all bad people. Initially, everything was legal. But then old McCaffrey suddenly became greedy, began to view them as mercenaries, let a bid higher and do it. When I found out my dad had left, he later met Jessie and married her. So they have been chasing him ever since. Jessie now understands why Ray has been in CO for the past 18 years. Danny doesn't like taking pictures. I don't like going out and being so cowardly. Today she finally knew the reason. Danny took Ray 5 passports, said he had arranged everything well. Tomorrow they will change your identity and fly to Venice to start a new life. Unexpectedly, his children saw that and were very angry. That's not the life they want. They threw Dad's passport back and left. Jessie also had an argument with her husband, then left angrily. To protect family safety, so Danny sat outside all night. Just when he wanted to apologize to his family, messy. Carry your baby and walk out. Where are you going? Get out of here. Get away from me. No matter how much Danny holds on, Jessie, still determined to take the children away. Soon they arrived at a small airport. The person who welcomed them was none other than Nikki, boxing club owner. Jessie was surprised when Nikki personally used a special plane to pick him up, even though their relationship is very good. But not to this extent. They quickly boarded the plane. Now Nikki tells Jessie a story. Before, she has been with the same man for many years. Their relationship is always very good. But then suddenly one day, that man disappeared without a trace. 2 years ago, she happened to meet him again, but discovered he is married to a woman. completely different from her. What's more, she's so obnoxious. Wait, have you met her already? Of course, him and that woman built a new life. I wanted to see what she did that I didn't have. I did what I do best. I approached her, gained her trust, then patiently waited for her to walk into my trap. Hearing that, Jessie was stunned, because she knows the woman Nikki mentioned is herself. She planned to find an excuse to take her children and leave, but it was too late. I told you not to get involved in this, but I was the one who brought them as a gift for him. You need me. I will always understand. You can handle this family however you want. I don't care. I just want please. He is my delivery reward. Right after that, the phone that was taken from the assassin yesterday. Ring. Old Markfree said briefly, "If you want your wife and children to survive, please quickly come to Dow." According to the location Dow sent, he hung up and Danny quickly drove over. Poseidon Casino has been abandoned. The person who greeted him was the cannon. Rosen is familiar. Soon, he led Danny up to a room. On the top floor. Is everyone okay? He was a bit surprised at this moment. Old McCaffrey also slowly appeared. Why don't you give your dad a hug? Dad, what's the point in doing that now? Sorry for what you just said. Kelly, I'm your grandfather. Oh my God. We are So's older brother. He didn't tell the Sao children. No, he skipped this part. In his speech, do not lie. You said he was like a father. But this is not better. Why wouldn't he kill his nephew? Listen, you can deal with me however you want. Let them go. Please think what I want. Kill me in the depths of that soul. Do you really think I treated you unfairly? You were once Dao's son, even though he wanted to kill Danny countless times, but knowing he had defeated all the assassins he sent. Then he changed his mind. He felt an emotion that had been lost for a long time. He is proud of his son. So he wanted Danny to come back. Keep working for him. Together we can restore the golden age of yesteryear. If you disagree, he will kill your wife and children. There is no other way. Danny had to accept. Old McCaffrey was very pleased. Cyrose Chan immediately took his family to the airport. But do you think they would leave like that? No way. Before getting on the elevator, the daughter convinced her mother. With reason and emotion, the little girl wanted her mother to defeat Rosen and then come back to save her father. We're talking about Dad, who took her child to the BI Senior Social. When Bamboo does not appear, that's so great. My father never did that. Rosen, excuse me. Could you please be quiet? At this time, the elevator has reached the top floor. As soon as they entered the elevator, Kelly's son hurriedly pressed the buttons. Next will be very interesting. The elevator stops at each floor. Kelly kept convincing her mother to take out Rosen, so they can go back and save their parents. Dad thinks we don't love him anymore. We can't end things this way. As soon as she withdrew her words, Jessie smelled a foul odor. Turns out she forgot to change her youngest son's diaper, so she calmly took off her baby's diaper in front of Rose Chan. As soon as the elevator door opened, Ray then Jessie Ray. Damn hands. Maybe he'll be okay or not. They quickly returned, but just got to the door. They saw an unacceptable sight. But they won't rekindle their old love, because that's just Danny's delaying strategy. This Vulcan Jiu-Jitsu strangulation technique. I'm just a technical person. Mr. McCaffrey is downstairs at this time. Suddenly, I realized something was wrong. He knew Rosen couldn't help but answer the phone. The only possibility is that something happened after controlling the hacker. Quickly saw the army returning. Via roll screen, he entrusted Roll to his son to begin the battle for survival. Mr. Ray Tay took them down one by one, along with the support of family members. Seeing that, old McCaffrey immediately called Nikki up. Tell her to go deal with Kelly and get Ron back. Nikki's extremely confident. Step into the elevator to the top floor, but as soon as the elevator door opened, then Jessie pulled the trigger. Two women rushed to fight. Even though Jessie has been boxing for many years, but she is no match for Nikki. Soon she was knocked down by Nikki. And Danny, with good coordination with his son, he was defeated. McCaffrey's entire army has 2 more, including grandfather. There's someone on the right. The duel between father and son is not attractive. So let's change the scene to Jessie was thrown to the ground. Although Jessie struggled a bit, she was not seriously injured. See the bamboo pole on the ground? Then she suddenly had an idea. She has to handle it. The woman has been sleeping with her husband for many years. Are you kidding me? But life is not like a dream. No longer a decathlete. Right, but right when she was being sarcastic about Jessie, then the situation is reversed. Bitch has 9 more competitions. At this time, old McCaffrey defeated Danny, but right when he was about to shoot his son. This rebellion. Then her niece Nina spoke up to stop it. Sir, wait, I know you think we might hate you because of all that has happened in the past few days. Maybe we should hate you. But I understand that family is the most important thing in this world. When looking at him, then you don't just see a cold-blooded murderer, but also saw my grandfather. Maybe we have a way to continue living as a family. Honey, if you think that saying these words can persuade evil, honestly, I just hope this can last enough time. Let him do this. Don't let Seven's daughter hope. Danny takes the opportunity. He didn't pay attention and knocked him down. After defeating the leader, Rand decided to hand him over to the police. He accepts to face his past, even though that could mean going to jail. However, Jessica and her children stood as witnesses for him. Confirmed. Rand acted in self-defense and to protect her family. At the end of the movie, Rand returns to normal life. Cherish every moment with your wife and children. He learned to live true to himself. No more having to hide your identity. Today's story ends here. Thank you for watching the movie. How do you like this movie? Please comment down below.